All right, welcome back to Dinner Television. Now, we all know the famous Fred Penner song, The Cat Came Back the Very Next Day, but this story absolutely trumps that in every respect. Joined right now by Kathryn Morrow and Griff. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Now, your story, as I mentioned, is something absolutely astronomically mind-boggling. It's a reunion that's been 4 years in the making. Let's talk about how you and Griff were initially separated, because it's a pretty harrowing tale.
Yes. Well, Griff and her best friend, JJ, got out of the gate of where my sister was living. So Griff was, these dogs, we kind of had shared custody of them, we say, because they were best friends. So Griff was having a sleepover, and they got out the gate, and they were running down the road, and some people tried to catch them, and a cab driver pulled up, threw them in the back, and kept going.
And then that was that until recently. Now, just as a curiosity, over the course of the 4 years, what did you think? Did you think that this day would ever happen? I
hoped it would. I kept all of her things. This is her old sweater from 4 years ago, and she has her bed still. So I hoped that it would, but I mean, we dream, right?
No kidding. Well, and again, you know, you don't hear about a lot of these reunions, especially after this kind of length of time. And it was a weird happenstance online, as I understand it.
That's right.
That set things in motion here.
That's right. So on Wednesday morning, I woke up to a few messages, and there was a screenshot of social media, of a Facebook post of a Brussels Griffon, this Brussels Griffon. And so I went to Animal Care and Control after, of course.
Now, the Facebook post was from Animal Control, or how did you get the
someone posted it on Animal Control, but someone sent it to me. Someone recognized Griff and sent me a message. So I got 3 messages at 5:15 in the morning on Wednesday morning. So I waited until 8:30, and it was the longest 3-hour wait of my life.
Imagine.
I was ringing the doorbell at 8:21 at Animal Care and Control, and of course they don't open until 8:30, so I waited.
And then you got in there, and, you know, I mean, obviously she looks a little worse for wear, but you recognized her right away, didn't you?
Not right away.
No?
It took a while before they let me see her.
Okay.
Because of her injuries, they needed to make sure that it was okay for me to go back there. But initially, because I saw her from her injured side, I couldn't see her ears, and I thought, it's not Griff, and so I started to cry. And then she turned to look at me. I said her name, and she turned to look at me. And I said, oh my goodness, it is Griff. And so then I stuck my fingers in the cage, and she didn't recognize me right away.
But still, I mean, to have that recognition after 4 years, I mean, on both sides of the equation, I think speaks to the bond that you guys have. Is there a sense as to what might have happened to her over that time, where she came from, or did they just pick her up?
Someone brought her in. Okay. Someone found her on his front step, so we don't have any information.
And the injuries, do they know exactly what happened? Do they have a sense as to what this was
They do. So when she was dropped off, she had an elastic band tied around her head. So she had the elastic band around her head and around her ear. So it had been on so long that you can see her ear is lacerated on both sides. So she's only got about 1/3 of her ear.
I think we do have the pictures here, and we were going to warn you, yeah, they are pretty severe. So caution to you at home here. Again, I'm looking at them right now, and they do look pretty rough, but she doesn't seem too flustered by them, all things considered.
She's a pretty tough cookie.
No kidding. Now, part of the reason we've got you here as well tonight, too, is we did mention that this was a dynamic twosome.
That's right.
Griff is only one part of the equation. With this part of the story, we're still looking for JJ.
Especially with Griff back. We're looking for JJ in full force now. So we started a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for JJ's reward. We'd like to offer $10,000 for anyone that can give us JJ. No questions asked. So it's gofundme.com/bringhomejj.
And have you had any nibbles on this at this point?
We haven't gotten any information yet, but we're hoping after we want this to go viral. And we're getting lots of attention, but no one is coming forward yet.
Well, again, it's still relatively early. I mean, it's only been a short while you two have been reunited, and we're just starting to get the word out there now. And I think, you know, the fact that Griff was found here in town, I think probably suggests pretty strongly, you'd hope anyway, that JJ is somewhere out there, hopefully being taken care of, obviously, given the conditions outside. Just one more time before we go, I do want to make sure that, so it's gofundme.com/bringhomejj?
/bringhomejj, yes.
There you go. And hopefully this is just round 1 of 2 of an incredible reunion, 4 years in the making. Thank you so much, Kathryn.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Griff. You are super chill, super cool. Glad to see that you two are back together after all this time. As we say, this is the information that you're going to want to check out if you want to help bring JJ back into this fold as well. All right, now that we're going to turn things over to Bridget Ryan.